Hey everyone, it's Oksana from Dallas.
And Ina from San Diego.
This is the Texas-California Friendship Podcast, where real life, real conversations, and real friendship happen across the states.
Today, our kids pause movies to grab snacks. We used to sprint from playground to catch Sailor Moon on time. Different childhood, different world, same moms. Welcome to our very first podcast episode. And today's topic will be about childhood. Our childhood as millennials who grew up in Ukraine, and our children who were born here in United States, and how different it is.
Today's first section is going to be about entertainment and how it was for us and how it is for our kids. So I will start. I remember growing up and having those paper TV magazines where you would find the TV shows that you want to watch and you would highlight it, and then at a certain time and date you should be back home. So whenever I was like playing outside with my friends, I would run for the TV show. It's the, I don't know, 10 a.m. let's say, right? And everyone was back home watching the TV show, and for an hour the whole street was so silent because everyone from the kids were watching it. And I think there's a magic in that because, frankly, it taught us a good time management, right? And you knew if you miss, you miss. There is no replays, no YouTube that you can watch the episode. And it actually made me organized, I think, in some way. But yeah, it was something amazing.
Yeah, same thing for me. And I remember one thing from my childhood when I was going to my grandma's house, and her TV had only two channels. And there was no options to watch something interesting. So I would find something to watch, even though it wasn't a show, it wasn't a movie, but it was at 5 p.m. at night, and I would turn it on, and that's when I could watch an hour or maybe maximum two of something. And yeah, it was only basically out of two channels, one was with something that you can actually watch and enjoy a little bit of time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think like for us, right, it was watching for the sake of watching rather than entertaining us, right? Like it was just like silent time.
Yep.
In regards to my kids, it's different, right? So now they are picky. I want to watch this, I don't want to watch this. And then they know that, okay, mom, can you pause? Can you pause? I need to grab an ice cream. I need to go to the restroom, whatever they have. Or like, I forgot my stuffed toys, right? Like everything of that. And they have all those instruments right now, and they don't have that leverage of, okay, there is something new is coming up on the screen and they have to wait. No, they have everything on YouTube or other channels, right, to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, totally different. And I think what with our childhood, it taught us patience, because you will not get what you want immediately. And that's one of the examples how it is right now and how it used to be. So same thing, there's nothing to add from me, because everything is available 24/7 without any ads, without waiting, and they can just watch wherever they want. Okay, next one, we're gonna talk about a really good topic, I think very painful at times, is about chores, about discipline, and how different responsibilities were in our childhood and how it is right now for our kids. So in my childhood, and probably Oksana as well, there was no negotiations or no begging or asking 100 times, can you do this? Can you please do that? It's your responsibility. You have to clean the house on Saturday. This is, you live here, you help us, and you do that. So that's one thing, and it's not negotiable. You can't like roll your eyes or argue or say something. You just do that. And same thing with washing dishes. We when we were at the table, whoever cooked did not wash the dishes, and actually the last person who ate, who finished, would wash the dishes, but usually it was me because I don't have any siblings. So that was me. And also no dishwashers at our time at all. So everything by hand.
Yep. Pretty similar, I would say. I have a sister, so like our chores were on Saturday, and it was just given that my sister and I should split the work in some way. So someone should vacuum and another person would like remove the dust. And don't, let's not forget about mopping the floors. And if you guys remember, the vacuums back then were like huge, right? And they have those wires, and you'd have to carry it around your home. And it was a big deal. It wasn't like an hour work; it was a lot. And regarding the dishes, we had something similar, but the rule was like whoever is finishing last will have to do the dishes. So my sister and I, we would compete, like who's gonna eat faster. I know it's not good for your digestion, but like frankly, guys, washing the dishes by hands, like I was miserable. So obviously, they were not like, oh, maybe I would think I would do that. No, it was you have your dinner, you're done, and you're out of the table. Yeah, and same. No dishwasher. And I don't know. I remember mopping the floors by hand and standing in that position. Yeah, I don't like it. So I really enjoy my robots right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I also have robots, but once a month, I still wash my floor like I used to at home when you just have what is it? What is it called?
I think it's like washing class.
Yeah, washing clothes and just wash it by hand like that.
Yeah, for my
And without a
kids,
cup. Yeah, let's keep going.
right? Whenever they need to wash something by hands, they would make a scene, like you guys. Like they would be like, "No, can I just soak it up and mom, you're gonna wash it next day because I can remove it, all of that." And just like, no, you have to do it. So I don't know. With those kids, something is different for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same with us. And even though right now they have dishwashers, so it's no brainer to just rinse the dishes and load the dishwasher, but they all make such a big deal out of it. And we still have to repeat, to remind, to listen how they argue between each other, who is gonna load, who is gonna unload. So, but we still keep working and trying to make this as a everyday chore for them, so they know it's their responsibility. But it's hard for some reason. It became easier with this time, with this year. Like everything is easier, but it is harder to convince to do something right now than it used to be before.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Maybe let's talk a bit about right how our kids is handling chores, right? So I can share. I have 3 kids, right, and we've tried different approaches. And right now we have that one when Um, my older one is going to be doing everything on the odd days, and my middle one will be doing everything on the even days. And my little one, she's still too little to help out, I think. So she's out of picture for now, but then we'll have to adjust the system. So right now we don't have any arguments like, okay, I did it yesterday. It's your turn. Like I don't have that anymore. So it is like whatever the day it is, that person is cleaning up. But the kids is trying to find that runaways. So they would like be responsible for cleaning the kitchen, and they will forget to remove the dust, like remove the food or something like that, right? So they will leave something on the table. And I had to create a checkbox list with what they have to do. And now that kitchen cleaning checklist is sitting on my fridge. Whenever they're done with the cleaning that day, they're going through the list, and if they forget to do the lunch boxes or the water bottles, they'll have to come back because I'm so tired of coming next day in the morning and seeing that something is left out. So it's still a new system for us. We'll see how it's going to work, but that is there.
That's awesome. I like it. We have a different system. We just have certain responsibilities that they do, or they have to figure out on their own between them who is going to be in charge of dishwasher, let's say in the morning. And each of them has also their own responsibilities as far as when taking out the trash outside for pickup. That's my son who does that. But even though it's his responsibility, I have to remind him it's Wednesday, you have to do that. And also, they feed our cat in the morning, in the evening. That's their responsibility. It's split up my daughter gives her dry food and he gives her wet food. And of course, laundry, they have to do their own laundry to sort it out, everything. So I don't do that anymore. And vacuuming sometimes, but I'm still working on giving them more responsibilities because I am one of those people who would rather do it myself. I would rather do it myself faster and more efficient than asking them. But this is, I think, the wrong approach because it does not teach kids that uh, th- when they're going to be independent, that they will not have someone helping them or cleaning everything or cooking. Yeah.
Yeah, for
What do
sure.
you
I think I need to take like that. My kids are doing the laundry, like sorting out, but I think I'm in a stage when I wanna teach them to do the laundry, like the loads, the washing machine and do their laundry by itself. So then like, hey mom, I'm out of socks. Like, why is my problem? Like you're so my oldest, he's 14 years old, right? So I think it should be his problem now. So that's like where I am right now. So it's next on my roadmap, I guess, with the kids.
Yeah. Okay, the next one we're going to be talking about money and how we learned about money as kids and the situation right now with our kids. So, when I was growing up, my parents did not have, they were just average middle class, I'd say, people. And I could not afford a lot of things to ask them to buy for me. And at some point, I wanted to find a job and just have my own money for buying things, buying gifts for my parents, and buying something for myself because I understood that my parents are working hard and they are always trying to give me the best. They're paying for my education. And I realized that I just want to help out and kind of have my own money to spend on things that I want. And I started working when I was 14 the first time. So it's very like basic job where you just a marketer. You hand out flyers. So that was my job for many years through school and university. And then I had a job where I was a distributor of cosmetics. So I was carrying a huge bag with me with different cosmetics and just going to people and trying to sell them just on the streets or whatever. So that was amazing. Yeah. So that's the highlight for me. And I want my kids, and actually, right now they both have this, oh, how can I earn money? What can I do to earn my own money? So I like that, their desire. And because that's how I was at some point. Um, so yeah, that was highlight for me.
Yeah. To me, it was a bit different. I didn't work until I was in the college, but growing up, like I was getting some like birthday money, so I would save them to buy some presents for myself, for my sister, for my parents, because I was getting the presents only on the birthdays and the New Year, and there were like nothing in between. If I want something special in between, like I would have to just save it up for that, right? And every summer, my parents would send me to my grandparents. And my grandparents, they were having this like garden, like outside country house, and they would bring back home like cucumbers, tomatoes. So I remember I would take some vegetables and we'll go to the farmers market and would be standing there with my siblings and selling them. So we will sell like I don't know how much we'll get from that. I don't remember much, but then we'll go back to the ice cream shop. We'll just buy ourselves an ice cream, and it was so nice. Yeah, and also one of the income that I had at the time it was recycling. Like I remember collecting those bottles, and when my home was out of bottles, we'll go outside and we'll find those bottles on the streets. We'll come back and we'll wash them, and then we'll turn them in and get some money back as well. So that was my income for some time from what I remember. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then in the
I
college,
had
yeah,
this too. Yeah,
I also did
same
that.
thing. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then in the college, yeah, like I started working same as you, like as promoter, like pass on those flyers. And I actually remember that I was working hard for almost 3 months, like a lot, and I earned my monies to take myself on vacation. So I went with my friends on vacation, being by myself. I was so proud. I think I was like around 18 or 19, like not that young, but still I was proud of myself that I can afford that.
Nice.
Yeah. But if you want to talk about how our kids doing with money nowadays, right? I can start. So my kids, they are getting $15 weekly allowance. So they have their bank accounts and those money just landed there weekly on Mondays. And then my kids, they decide what they want. Again, we are putting some control, so we're not allowing them to buy toys a lot because we're explaining that they have a lot, so they have to spend this money wisely. And also, we have a rule on Fridays at schools, they have those pizza days. So if they want to have a pizza, they have their money to spend on it. So you're going to be surprised that my kids, for the last 2 years, they haven't had any pizza because they don't want to pay for it, which is, I think, good thing for us. And we also did some systems when my kid would want something big, let's say like, what was that? Electric skateboarder, right? And it was like expensive. And my son, he didn't have the full money, full amount for that time. And we agreed that we'll pay for it and he'll pay us back. So we kind of like opened a credit line for him. And it worked for some time because he paid. He paid back fully. He owns that skateboard. However, we realized that we are teaching him a model when he can like get things right away without waiting for them. So what we changed is that we are not allowing them to buy anything unless they have the full amount for that purchase. So, recent example, my husband, he took our kids to Target, those Targets, they can be dangerous with the kids. So, and my middle one, he brought out back Lego. I was just like, how did you buy Lego? You don't have money. He's like, I will have money on Monday. I'm just like, yeah, but today's Friday. You don't have money to pay back. He's like, yeah, but I want to build it on a weekend. I'm just like, no, you cannot because you don't have money. So he had to look up for in his pocket, in his like hidden boxes, and he found those $9. It wasn't not a big amount, $9, but still I forced him to find those $9 because he cannot go simply to a store and say like, hey, I'm gonna pay you back on Monday, right? It's not working that way. It's not working in adulthood that way. And we're teaching us that you have to live with what you have. Like, please don't go like to the credits. Uh, we'll see how it's gonna turn out once they grow up. But so far, we are trying to do that like financial education for them because that's an important skill to have, I believe.
Yeah, I think in our childhood, the easy thing it was, we did not have any credits. So we just, whatever cash you had, this is what you spend. This is with our parents, with us. That's why we did not have this problem. So if you don't have money, you can just buy anything, whatever you want. And here you have to actually teach them how to not be in debt, how to use your money wisely, how you can, rather than buying right now something cheap, just it's better to collect money and buy something bigger and something more valuable and just wait for that. So yes, we don't have the system with what you just mentioned with your kids, but we just teach them to use money that they have wisely and like think ahead. And for example, one of the things, my son recently, he broke his phone, and since he did it, he's gonna spend his own money on repairing it. So we're gonna go to the store with him, and he's gonna use his money. He's gonna do it himself, and he's gonna spend whatever the cost will be. We did not have any insurance on his phone, so yeah. So that's the lesson for him to learn that if you did that, you are responsible for fixing it. So you're gonna spend this money on that.
Yeah, I think a lesson here is like you save, you plan, you buy, and then you value, right? Because whenever you're waiting for something, it's more valuable for you. Because if you get it right away, like there is this missing point, when you want something badly and you get it afterwards and you value it more.
Now we're going to be talking about summer breaks. It is totally opposite from what we had and our kids are having right now. So I'm gonna start with our childhood. Our summer break was basically the whole 3 months. Parents would just send me to grandmothers. So I would go to the first grandma, and then I would for a certain amount of time, and then to the second grandma. And actually, sometimes when my parents were financially able to afford summer camps, I would go for 3 weeks to summer camp because I used to live in Crimea by the Black Sea. So we had really amazing camps. So I would go there for 3 weeks as well. But basically, overall, for our parents, I think it was the magical time when you just send your kids for the whole summer and you don't see them for the whole time. And it is amazing for us as well to be more independent because we did not have any phones, any GPS trackers, anything to know where we are. So our grandparents, if we go somewhere to outside to play with our friends, they would not know where we are. We just come back, of course, at certain time. And it was amazing. We had so much freedom. I think this is something that I want for my kids here as well, because it really gives you so many different life skills that you learn as when you're a kid. And yeah, so that was my summer. And of course, when you go to the camp, you just spend the whole time with different types of children, and there are no parents. And it also teaches you really amazing, valuable lessons, and it's fun. So yeah, our summers were amazing in that independence, like getting independence.
Yeah. My summer was pretty similar. My parents would send me to my grandparents. They lived in the same city, so it was easier for me. They were kind of neighbors, so I would just have my daily routine. I would be sleeping in my one grandparents, right, and then I would be visiting another one during the summer. And my grandparents, they had that gardening outside country house where we would go and we would be working like collecting berries, I don't know, helping on the garden, and we would eat fresh cucumber from a garden without washing it, just like ship, 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 and you're done. So I remember like that was so crazy. Like now my kids like, oh, did I wash it? Did I wash it? And at that point, like no one was cared. Like no one cared. Did you wash it or not? Like did you? Anyway, it was fun. And while we were talking, I just remember that I actually did also some camps. I remember one time when I think I was 12 or 13, and my parents sent my sister and I to a camp, and we took a train by ourselves. So I was, let's say, 13. My sister was 11. We took a train. Like it
Nice.
was the whole way from capital Kiev to the Crimea, and my parents had no idea where we are, how we get there. And then over there, we had to take a bus to get to the actual camp. Like I've never been there at that place. Like I was so lost on that train station, and I remember somehow I talked to the people, like, hey, I need that bus, whatever. And we got to the point where we need to be. But now I'm looking back, I'm just like, really? It was so scary. Like, it was so scary. And, but I'm still remembering I have those memories. It was so much fun. Like the different kids and the way that you need to find your new friends, find like what to do, where your room is, where it's like lunch, breakfast, dinner, right? All of that. So it really builds that independence in you. So it was fun for sure.
Yeah. Oh, same thing about gardening. I had same thing with my grandparents when I was going to their dacha. It's called in Ukrainian, and it's like countryside garden. I don't
Yeah.
know how to translate it correctly, but yeah, you also have responsibilities. You help out, and it's not an easy job sometimes, especially dealing with potatoes and these little beetles, picking up beetles from potato leaves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And yeah, but you ate, like, I remember eating cherries from the tree and strawberries, and it was so good, so fresh. But you have to actually work. It's a work that you don't want to do, but you do it. there's no option to say to your grandma, oh no, I'm just, not feeling it, like helping you. No, you do that, and it's an amazing skill. So let's go to our children. I start. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's first of all, our children, we are too scared for them right now to like let them go somewhere independently, like sending them on train like you did in your when you were 13, 12 years old. I cannot imagine. You probably also cannot imagine. So
Nope.
we live in the time where we have so much information, and we that information actually scares us even more for our children. And I think the advantage of our parents were that they did not have so much information online where you read these horrific stories, and that's why they were not as worried about us. And we even having kids, having like watch GPS, we still like controlling them if they go somewhere because we are scared somebody is gonna kidnap them. So it's different for them right now, for sure. And for summers, we usually, and that's basically, they don't get as much independence as we did when it comes to summer. And basically, we spend a lot of time with them. But I try right now, my older one, he wants to go somewhere independently to the store, for example, that is close by to buy something, whatever it is, but just to have this feeling of freedom. And I think it's amazing, but you still kind of worry about that. Yeah, and actually, and to add to that about summers, kids right now are more uh, are more spoiled where they want to go because we go on different vacations to different countries. So sometimes my daughter actually recently just asked me, "Oh, so we haven't been on vacation for a while. When are we going to go on vacation to Mexico, to Fiji, to all these places?" I'm like, "Wow, our kids have such a good life."
Yeah, I can relate to that. Mine is the same. Like my middle one, he was like, "Okay, mom, I want to go to Switzerland, like or to Norway," and just like, "Yeah, when we can go? Like, can we go in December, like on a Christmas break?" And some like on a spring break, we'll go somewhere. Just like, oh, it's not even summer. So they for sure like spoiled, but also at the same time, I think it's so good that we can give them that life. You know, we didn't have that when we were growing up, but now it's so good that we have. But yeah, for sure, they don't. We need to teach them to wait, like be grateful for what they have for sure. And regarding monitoring, I'm totally as you. Uh, like when I was growing up, I was gone in the morning back home when my mama would like, "Hey, it's time to go, Oksana, it's time to go, let's roll." And recently, my 14 years old, he decided to meet his friend, and I was just like, okay, you can go outside and like you can walk, you can talk. So he went, and I remember like sitting and like tracking that my find my on the iPhone where my kid is. Like, okay, he went here, he goes there. And then he went to a coffee shop by himself with his friend. They ordered like some matcha, whatever they did there. And he was so proud of himself that he did it. And it's not like that was his first time buying thing. It was not. But that independence, that he was alone with his friend, I think that was built up like that confidence in him.
Yeah.
And then he told me that they went to a pizza place, they had a lunch together, and somehow they did talk to the waiter to split the check, and they give the tips. And I think it was a big deal for them because it's huge, right? It's a small thing that matters. But now, like my younger say, like, okay, when can we go outside by themselves? So just like, no, you guys too young. Like I'm not ready to track you guys as well. So, but I'm happy that I'm I'm kind of letting him go a bit, and I think I'm working on myself more than I'm scared more than he is because I know more, and that's for sure that our parents didn't have that information and what can happen and what is happening in the world and in our town where we live, right? But I keep reminding my kids that whenever you're outside, keep an eye on the drivers, right, on the cars. So like, don't assume that if you see the car sees you. Like, please don't assume that. So be careful. because they're still going out like in the neighborhood outside on the front yard, right? Like riding their bikes and stuff. But that precautions is super important for us.
Okay, and the last topic we're going to be talking about is about kids and challenges. How we were taught and what challenges we dealt with when we were kids and our children right now. So basically, we we always had challenges throughout our childhood, whether it was at school, whether it was at home. Uh, I cannot give too many examples. Maybe one of them is if you don't want to do something, like if you have a tough subject at your school, for example, and you don't want to do it, you still do it because you feel more responsible for having good grades, for maybe it depends on children, but in general, you are taught to be responsible for your own decisions and what you do, and always overcome different things, difficult things throughout your childhood. Or if you had conflicts with your classmates, for example, my parents never ever knew if I had any bad relationship with anyone because I would never tell them. I kind of knew that it's my deal, it's my stuff that I need to figure out. I have to work with fixing those relationships, or vice versa, maybe not talking to that person. So they would never actually. There is no such a thing like, oh, my daughter is bullied at school by someone. No, I would just go by myself, and I would never thought even telling my parents to do that. So in our childhood, I think we did not even think about that. Uh, we just always had the different stages of uh, doing overcoming challenges. Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk about your childhood.
No, the same, right? So my dad, he was in the military when I was growing up. So I always was taught like if you have a trouble or like if you have a conflict, it's you deal with it. Like don't involve us. It's like it's your responsibility. You do you, like So and somehow I remember that majority of families who were like on this military bases, they had boys, and my family, I have sister, right? So it was only girl family, and still I would stand myself up in front of boys and like don't allow them to bully me or anything like that. Like I remember the story when like I was little, I don't know, I was 5 years old or something, and that boy, he hit me. I hit him back because that's what my dad taught me, and his mom came back to my dad and hey, your daughter is beating my son. He's like, what happened? So like that boy started explaining the thing, and he's like, yeah, he did first. She just protected herself. Like what is the problem? Like don't get me involved. So I guess because I knew that it's my responsibility to stand for myself and for my sister, I dealt with everything. And being oldest in the family, it kind of put me in some pressure, right? Because I had to watch myself, I had to watch my sister to help her in her school. I also remember like when I had to protect her in school, but at the same time, and also I was in a military family, right? So I changed a lot of schools, and it also taught me how to talk to people, where to be silent or where to stand up, and like to adjust. Because when you are in the teen era and you are changing the school, like you are not, no one likes you, like no one truly likes you, and somehow it went well for me, and I'm really grateful for my parents that I had that experience. uh, Trust me, guys, when I was growing up, I was like, hey, can we stop moving around? Like, I'm so tired of changing schools and adjusting. But now, like, when I grew up, I just like, no, that was a good lesson, like, for me. And I think I benefited from that really much. My kids, they also changed school a few times now because we moved in the States. Apparently, it's in my blood now. And I remember my son, he was like, oh, mom, it's so hard to adjust. Like, oh, you tell me, like, I know how it is. So, And it was
You
stressful
wanted
for
them
him.
to have the same experience as you did, and you wanted them to suffer as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't intentional. I would say it's not intentional, but yeah, my kids they do have that experience, and I can tell like my son he changed like his fourth school right now, and I see that he's adjusting way faster. Like the first transition was very hard for him, but now he's like so easygoing. He knows what to do. He knows like how to behave, and I think it also will pay him back good. So we'll see, but. For sure, challenges are there, and like let's not forget the times when we were growing up we didn't have much like it was 90s, right? So everything was hard to get, no clothes like that you want. And I still remember like my dresses that my mom would bought me, and for my graduation it was so nice. I know that it was hard for my parents to buy it, but I'm really grateful that I had that.
Yeah. My dresses actually for my school were made by hand by my grandma. And I remember
Wow.
it took like several months because you try, you fix something, you know, it's such a big deal. It's like the end of your school and you have to have like a good, beautiful dress that you like. So yeah, my grandma was the one who was making it by hand. And right now, with the same thing with challenges, they because they live in such an abundance right now, and in schools also, um, there are sometimes teachers are too kind, I'd say, or they just if you don't want to do something, just don't do it. So you have to have that balance of sometimes telling them that you have to do even if you don't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a really fresh example. It just happened 1 hour ago, just when we started to record this podcast about the challenges. So my son was supposed to go to his soccer game today, soccer practice, and it is a makeup class for the day that everybody missed because it was raining outside. So he went yesterday on his soccer game and today, and he was making such a big deal today, like, oh, why should I come? Why should I go to my soccer game? And it was like he couldn't understand why. And I explained to him, and he was almost crying. And even my dad, I have my dad living with us right now. He's like, oh, maybe we should just not go and just let him, enjoy Sunday. And I told him, no, this is something that everybody comes to make up for the missed class on Wednesday because it was raining. So it's non-negotiable. And they went to the soccer game. They are there right now. And this is one of the things that where you have to actually be more firm, or like strict with them, just because you will not achieve, especially also sport is a good example, you will not achieve any results if you are like that. If you're like, I'm not feeling like going or I don't want to go. So this is something that you have to, and we also pay money for those extracurricular activities. So so yeah, teaching them to do things that sometimes are not really pleasurable or enjoyable is a good lesson for them when they grow up. It's going to be so much easier to live and to experience all those challenges. Yeah.
We have similar, we challenge our kids a lot, and we sometimes challenge them with the work. Let's say I bought those flowers for my backyard and I need that, like sprinkle system to have the water dip. So I wouldn't be watering them by hands. And I asked my oldest to do that. And he was like so miserable. Like, why do I need to do it? Let dad do it. And I was just like, you know how to do it. It takes 5 minutes of your time. Just do it. So he did one flower, and next day I bought another one, and he was like, no way. Do I need to do it again? And then just like, yeah. And if you're gonna continue doing that, I will buy another flower tomorrow. So like, you will keep doing that. So, and that attitude that he gave me, you know what I'm talking about. That face. Yeah, so we do challenge them with the work for sure a lot. And another example where we love to teach them is board games. Our family, we love board games. So recent example is we were playing Cluedo, like Clue game, and you have that color paw, right, which like your hero that you're playing for. And we were calling our middle son to every room to find that clue, whatever. And he started crying, like, why you guys are calling me every single like every single turn because I cannot go anywhere. She's like, yeah, that's life. It happens. You have your goal to go somewhere, and in between, like roadblockers happens, right? So you have to know how to navigate through them. So those board games, it's a really good instrument to teach them how to behave, how to negotiate and stuff. So that clue, we are still playing it because my sons, they didn't win any single game yet because they're so impatient. Like my oldest, he would listen for a few minutes, like a few clues, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm all in. I know what to do. Like I know who did that." And obviously, he is losing. So that's like recent examples from our life, and we are teaching them, hey, be patient and don't quit right away. Yeah, you can fail. You can fail a few times, multiple times, but then you stand up and you keep going.
Also teaching them that if you don't try something, you will never know whether it's going to work or not. So teaching them not to be afraid of trying, because I see sometimes my son, even before, he already thinks that he knows the result if he says something or does something, and I tell him, no, how can you know if you didn't even try? Or sometimes he wants to ask me, like, oh mom, can you let me uh, like watch a movie, for example. This is an example. And he's like, oh, I want to ask you something, but I'm 99% sure you are going to say no. I'm like, how do you know that in advance? Just ask me. And then he asks me and I say yes. And he's like, oh, whoa, that
Yeah.
was unexpected. So it's with everything like that.
Yeah, I guess we want to close right with that. Life is hard, and we are teaching our kids not to be afraid and to stand up for themselves and have a goal and go for that goal, right? And no matter what happens between, still have your vision and try to achieve it because you can do good things in this life. Every one of us has gifts, so you have yours and you should use it and you should grow this gift, right? Nothing in life comes easy because I think our kids think that everything is so easy because they have everything, right? Like
Mhm.
holiday season is coming. My kids like, I don't need anything. I have everything, which is good and bad at the same time. You're teaching them that life is not that easy, and you should be prepared.
Yes, and it's not everything instant. Like you wanted something and you get it right away. So that's the other one.
Exactly. Yeah. Let us know in the comment below what one things from your childhood you want your kids to experience.
No, like, I'm not gonna do this again.
Same energy.
Different states.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.